So I am a little tight on time today. I'm on my way to the airport in about 45 minutes, but I really needed to talk to you about this aspect that we are going to experience around the 3rd of December. And when I say around, the aspect is exact on the 3rd of December, but we will feel it coming the week before. So basically, when you get this video, you will probably already be in that energy and you will feel it. And then also there's an aftermath with this aspect, like with every aspect. So what aspect are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Venus square Pluto. And it is very, very strong, a very, very strong energy that I'm sensing when I see this aspect, right? When I see Venus square Pluto, that's an aspect that hits you in the mark. And if you watch your video, your rising sign video for December, I am going into it there as well for you, for your particular sign. So I will talk about it on the level of, well, your sign, basically. But yeah, let's see what this is all about and what we can learn, as always. So first of all, I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's not a funny aspect. Clearly not. It is a very intense aspect. I think that's why I feel it makes me very uncomfortable, this aspect. It is an aspect that deals with very, very, very deep vulnerability. And that is on the side of Venus, right? Venus, our worth and value, the way we love, how we need to be loved, how we want to be loved. And then we deal with Pluto on the other side. Pluto is the energy of pure soul potential. Venus is very much at home in this world, right? Venus is very much at home in the 3D world. Pluto doesn't really care about the 3D world. The only thing that Pluto cares about in the 3D is to express fully. And when there is an identity created in the 3D world that does not align with Pluto's desire, Pluto's soul desire, soul potential, then Pluto's going to mow it down. Pluto's just going to mow it down. It's like, you know, you have this a house that is brittle. I don't know if a house can be brittle, but, you know, it's like a ruin. And you're like, well, what are we going to do with this? Well, we have to tear down the house and rebuild. And I'm not saying that you are a ruin and that your identity is a ruin. Maybe that was a bit of an extreme example, but basically what I'm trying to say is that this aspect is telling us that there's an identity created in the 3D world based on conditioning, based on societal norms, that is not serving you. And this can be relating to any part of your life, or it can relate to all of it, right? It can relate to your life's direction, where you're heading. It can relate to relationships, or, you know, it can encompass all of it to a certain degree. And again, you need to understand, I'm not saying you have to now change your life completely and move to a different country and, you know, do your life all over again. I am not saying that. But what we need to understand here is that the Venus desire and the Pluto desire are at odds, right? There's a square. And I don't want to say Pluto is always right, but Pluto is always right, because Pluto is not from this plane, right? Pluto is not at home in this plane. And Pluto, just like I said, is coming from a place of soul potential. It's not coming from a place of the self that has been created here based on a norm that we've been surrounded by, right? In our family, in our society, our country, whatever it is. Pluto does not care about that. That is not really any of the Pluto concern. And again, when I talk about Pluto, I talk about an energy here, right? We need to stay clear about that. But Venus very much is based on all that, right? That conditioning, that societal conditioning, the norms, the norms in the family. It is a part of the Venus identity, or what Venus is all about. It's like that understanding of worth and value. And when we look at the understanding of worth and value from a soul earthy perspective, from a perspective of how we are conditioned through our society, how we are conditioned through our upbringing, the way we are raised. This is all part of Venus. Venus is easily conditioned. The Venus energy it's almost like it's made to be conditioned. And you have to figure out for yourself which Venusian parts of you, based, and we are talking values, innate worthiness, we're talking love, and we are not just talking love as in, oh, I love my boyfriend, my husband. No, we are talking about the bigger picture of love, and being loved, feeling cherished, feeling valued. Where in your life are you out of alignment there? Where do you not feel loved? Where do you not feel valued? Where do you feel not appreciated? And what are your wants and needs? What are your wants and needs based on that feeling of not feeling worthy and not feeling desired and not feeling appreciated? You know, where do you see the commonality here? What do you need to shift? Because if we base our life upon feeling deserving only if we do something, if we give something, if we're not just deserving, period, and then we do, and then we give, then, you know, we will always run into issues. So the understanding, not just here, the understanding, the embodied understanding of I am worthy, I am valuable, I am deserving, I am loved. That needs to be there first, because otherwise you make it conditioned. You know, it's like otherwise it's a condition, right? Like I am loved when I do this for someone. I am deserving when I do that for someone. I am valuable when I do, you know, fill in the blanks. So that is something that this aspect on a very deep level is going to show us. On the outside, it will probably show up as you having to face something that makes you feel really undeserving, that makes you feel undervalued, that makes you feel not loved. But you have to take this and look at it and see what is actually inside, and where do you have to rearrange things within you to the degree where you feel deserving no matter what, you feel loved no matter what, you feel valued no matter what. This is, I want to say this is easily said, but this is easier said than done, but it's bigger than that. It's not just easier said than done. It is actually, saying it is easy as in the words, right? Saying the words are easy, but I am aware that this is something that when you hear me say this, you know, it can either register here or it can register here. And if it registers here, then there's probably still a disconnect, because it needs to register here in order for you to feel the embodiment, to fully get it, and being able to change it. Because yes, maybe, you know, you say, okay, well, she's got a point. I can see things in my life where that would be true. But then what? it is really an embodiment aspect. Maybe you want to sit with this. Maybe you want to take this into a meditation. Maybe you want to take this with you. Let it just sink in, have it in the background. And usually that works for me when sometimes when I hear people say certain things, I'm like, oh, okay, they've got a point. And then, I'll just go about my day. And then something happens, or something that nothing happens, and I just go for a walk, and all of a sudden I have a light bulb moment, and I'm like, oh, that's what this meant. That's what it meant. Because then that's when it really sank into my body, when I really register, and that's from that place I can really change it. I need to allow this to connect with this, to really shift things that are deeply ingrained, conditioned parts that cannot be changed here. They can't be changed on the mental level alone. Because changing things on the mental level is relatively easy. But really changing it here, you need the repetition, but you also need the embodiment where you actually behave different. It's a behavioral change. It's not just like, oh, I am loved, I am valued, I am, whatever. It's like, how do I behave that way too? How do I behave like I'm worthy? How do I behave as a deserving person, as a worthy person? What do I not allow in my life? Where's the boundary? What behaviors that I am shown from the outside will I not, entertain anymore? Behaviors of like people around me. That is a behavioral shift, right? When you say, no, that is great, that's what you do and what you want, but I don't have space and room for that. And you behave different, right? We need to really get to behavioral shift with this. And this is an aspect that can really initiate it because of the power it has, the power that Pluto has in a square with Venus. I mean, Venus just can feel destroyed with this aspect. But if Venus sees the value in it, the value in, not the value in being destroyed, but what this is showing her, then she can shift. She can shift the behavior. This is not an aspect that we just, that we generally just experience on the mental level. We experience it in some shape or form on the physical level. So yeah, it's a very deep aspect. If you have any questions about this aspect, please feel free to, as always, leave a comment below. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment as well. If you want a personal reading or work with me on a one-on-one basis, you can click on the link in the description box. And yeah, allow yourself to be open to receiving the message that I'm trying to bring across. And be open to seeing things differently, seeing other options, seeing other perspectives, seeing another way of being, behaving, living. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.